I don't know. Tell me what you're saying. That's you and the
So
team.
we have two parts. Well, we have three. The first part, we're working with Blackmagic Design. So you send up one of their cameras. And we did that. The issue was me being an idiot. I messed up, so the footage is crap. Although Ian helped fix it. So we're going to launch another one. And then the second is looking for life forms. So small little microbes that are possibly throughout 5,000 to 100,000 feet. So we're building systems and we'll launch them up on a weather balloon. And they will record air samples, and then we'll take them to a lab, Bard College. We'll take them up there. And we're working with scientists in England, and hopefully one in UCLA, to kind of coordinate a scientific research on it, because it's a really unknown area of Earth. And then our third thing is to promote science education in the community.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
So what's the significance? Like, where did that interest grow from?
It actually came from a book, Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. He wrote Jurassic Park, where basically this capsule came down from space, and it was a satellite, and when it came through the atmosphere, it picked up a strain, and it killed everyone in the town. So the government had to kind of, this is fiction, but like they had to kind of go through, and they had to figure out what it was, and so that was like, whoa. In long term, I want to launch and deploy things into space. I want to develop colonies on the moon. Actually, I'm doing an independent study. I'm going to do that in about 30 minutes. I have to meet a person in the library. So that's long term. So this is kind of a first start into the scientific world, so to speak.
So the black magic, you're talking about the cameras, and those are going up on weather balloons?
Yeah, to about 100,000 feet. Ours reached about 95,000 feet.
Who came up with the idea?
Of like the whole idea in general?
Yeah, just like, I mean, like, how did this all initiate?
It was really, I was talking to a friend of mine how he wanted to create a drone club, and I've had the interest of looking at the atmosphere for this stuff, so I wanted to kind of develop. Originally it was going to be a rocket, but we realized that was too much money, like a lot. So we created ARC, Aerospace and Rocket Club. It was denied by the school, so we couldn't join the school, we couldn't become a club, but we still kept going. So now we're just a bunch of students that meet in the library, so that's how we developed it. So I was a friend and I kind of helped form it.
So like with the weather balloon, with the seeking for, like, this life in the different atmospheres, and I think you mentioned something about mining asteroids. Or
yeah, well that's something different, but that's something I would like to do in the future. Where basically the entire value of the moon and other asteroids would dwarf the United States economy. You could, in theory, control the economy by controlling these non-Earth objects. And in the future, I think the only way we can get into space is by giving an incentive to go into space. And so that's kind of my long-term goal, so to speak.
So where do you think you can get the help and support from? Like, if you had tomorrow, if you can talk to one person and get that support from, who do you think would be the biggest?
For the Air Project or the going to space aspect?
Both.
Well, right now, we have our own funds. We had a Kickstarter campaign, and we made $3,700. So that's how we have money for this program. But it would be great to kind of get some more publicity in the sense of having people, more people kind of working in the program, because it'd be great if we could actually have other scientists in other parts of the world doing something very similar, so you can kind of map out the atmosphere throughout the world, because the atmosphere is different all over the world. For the long term, the goal would be to create a consortium of companies. So you need people that are high, like Elon Musk, for instance, or who's the guy who runs Virgin Galactic?
Branson? Branson?
Yeah, Richard Branson. People like that. That's how you would need to not only financially back you, but also to kind of spread the word. Because the goal with the space program is that it'd be an international consortium of private businesses. So you'd put in, let's say you put in $500 million. Well, you'd make that back plus an additional $500 million. Because if you're making trillions of dollars, that would be like nothing. So in essence, it'd be a money-making operation where you would, as a company, would put in stuff like that, and then you would.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, Harry, how are you? So, yeah.
It's tremendous. So, I mean, what are your next steps?
My next step is to develop. Actually, this summer we're working with some people at Danbury Hackerspace, which is like with 3D printers, and we're developing the recording systems for life. We're developing the systems. We have them in the design process. Now you have to build them. So that's that. And then the next part of the project would be to kind of, and college. I want to kind of start taking, I want to start working with people in different, like, I want to go in college and find someone that's in computers and try and get them enlisted. So the idea of the Era project will still continue, but it won't necessarily be about the scientific portion. It'll be more about the business of getting stuff into space. I'll still use the same name, hopefully, or the same guidelines. So I'll start going through college and trying to get people to kind of join, and then I have no idea from there. I have to keep thinking of how to actually make it happen.
So the reason I wanted to talk to you is I'm going to end up sending information about what you're doing and who you are and everything to an organization called the We Are Family Foundation. And the We Are Family Foundation was started in 2001 because it was because of a 9/11 that the creator of the song We Are Family, who happened to be Nile Rodgers, is not just an amazing producer, but he's just a human. You know, he's just an amazing human. And what he does is he took a song that he wrote for Sister Sledge back in the 70s, and he mixed it, and new voices, like everyone from like Diana Ross to Patti LaBelle to Rosie Perez. I mean, you name it, like people were just in this one room singing We Are Family to bring back New Yorkers, bring back like the energy and the positivity of the tragedy of 9/11, which if you look at the tragedy, something positive and beautiful came out of it, and that's the We Are Family Foundation. And at one point it stalled a little bit. They were trying to find some means of like making it more of an impact to the community. And it was one night where, as far as I understand the story, where Nancy Hunt, the president of the We Are Family Foundation, was watching TV and happened to come across Larry King, who was stunned because he was interviewing a child named Maddie Stepanek. Maddie was a prodigy. He was, borderline saint. I mean, the kid was so freaking young, probably I think it was like 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, where he started to write poetry, and his poems were of such an impact that Oprah Winfrey and Jimmy Carter and like amazing people were just like, who is this kid? And he's writing about peace, and he's writing words, things like remember to play after every storm, or the idea of that if a person's basic needs are met, then you can achieve peace. And his idea was that if you have a glass of water and I have a glass of, and I don't, and you share it with me, that we're good, we're cool, we're sharing, we're helping, we're supporting each other. But if you're not sharing that with me, then we have a problem. And so unfortunately, Maddie had been stricken with I believe it was multiple sclerosis or muscular dystrophy, and it was a terminal illness that took away his siblings as well as himself. It was a gene that was passed down from his mother, Jenny, who had no idea she had it, and it was too late at that point. So right now, Jenny herself is a peacemaker. She's a change maker. She's known as Mama Peace. And what came from this discovery of Maddie through Nancy was a movement called 3.dash. 3.dash is 3 dots and a dash. It's a Morse code for the letter V, which is victory or the new peace. So we use it as a gang sign. We say 3.dash, new peace. You're borderline, and I feel very strong that you're a really good candidate for not just the Peace Summit, because you have to be a teen who's bringing basic needs to communities or doing amazing things in community and doing amazing things that through projects that you're creating. But you're also a really good candidate for TedxTeen to speak about what your passion is and what this could possibly mean to the world. So I know it's a lot of pressure to think about, and I'm just throwing this at you because when Ian told me what you're doing, I'm like, what? Okay, that totally aligns in my book with what we're doing. So I mean, the expectation I could set for you is I will take your message and what you just told me. I will definitely share that with the with Nancy and the We Are Family and those people, because I'd like to see what you want to do maximized and capitalized, because there's a lot of really important people that are tied in with this whole moving thing, and your message is clear that if you can meet your SMART goals and you can achieve what it is you want to do, I have no doubt like you'll be at NASA or you'll be at some place then changing this fucking world, which is just amazing. So
thank you. Ian said you'd blow my mind, and you blew it. You blew my mind like pieces.
Well, you're blowing my mind, because I mean it's until we have conversations like this, I mean it's very challenging to know who's doing what and what their capabilities and opportunities, and you know, what they're, you know, who they are. I mean, I'm very much. I think your passion is great. I would never ever look at it as something as fun. I mean, we can't say it's not fun, but I mean, I would never take it lightly. What you're doing is like it's just miraculous. I don't know any 16-year-olds that are going out trying to send a or have sent a weather balloon up 90,000 feet, and at the same time, you know, building a team and you know managing that team at six. It's you got
Any challenges that school gave him by not letting him?
School, yeah.
The school said what?
Well, they denied us because they're like, so cause we were originally going to have a drone portion to it, right? So we could teach people how to build drones and stuff like that. And that was rejected overall. It was probably because I made originally we were going to launch a rocket into orbit.
I'm right here.
We were going to launch a rocket into orbit and we were going to deploy probes into the atmosphere. But so I made a budget for that, which was around like 30 million. And I put in the proposal, right? Okay, this will be covered through funds, and we found funds through the NSF that we could apply for and feasibly get the money. But I think when they saw the value 30 million, they're probably like, haha. No, but they never said that. They pretty much said we have too many science clubs. So they kind of lied, and it's because I mean maybe that was the reason, but I think it's the other one. So in essence, they rejected us. But we just were like, we're still going to do it. Because honestly, you know, I wanted to keep going.
It's what some people would say is a gentleman that I had the privilege of speaking with and talking to for a couple, I mean, it was really like a 24-hour period, but what an amazing guy, Jason, I can't remember his last name. He was the influence and brains behind Coney 2012. Very empowered individual, and you know, it's just really cool. So I mean, like if you in your own words, like if you were going to say something to Nancy or to We're a Family Foundation, the TedxTeen, like what would you want as far as support, and you know, what would it mean to you to get involved in something like that?
Well,
it's not touchscreen.
To me, all right. Let me try and think of some concise points. Basically, all of what I like to do, from the Era project to developing, you know, mining colonies, it all roots back to the idea that I love humans. As much as humans are, you know, they mess up or failure, I feel there's something really special about intelligent life in humans, right? We're the only ones on this planet that actually actively, you know, have built something like that. And so, in my eyes, when I look at this world, I think the most important thing that is, you know, the most glaring important issue is that we have to get off this planet and we have to start spreading out, because everything you know, everything, any idea, any technology has been stemmed back from humans. And there's a really, you know, we're so feeble. We can get destroyed like that. All it takes is one asteroid or a giant volcano. That's all it takes, and it'll take out the entire planet. All it takes is a massive global warming. So I don't want to see that lost. So anything that I want to do in my life, which is why I want to kind of make an incentive to go into space, I really, by the time I die, I want to at least have some reassurance that humanity is going to at least thrive for the next 200,000 years. Because I really feel like if we were just destroy our species in the next 100 years, it's such a waste. Because everything we've done, everything we know, has just been obliterated. And I think that would be the worst thing ever. It's such a tragedy. So that, in essence, is my opinion on what the most important issue is in the world, and that's what stems back from the Era project. And the Era project doesn't really seem like that has to do with it, but just the idea of kind of promoting science. I think science is a really important thing people should at least know about, because it's our world, a scientific world at this point. You can't really argue without having some sort of scientific evidence. It's not only science, but like the mindset of science. Like, you should try trial through error. That's a big mindset in today's world. So you can't really live in this world without at least knowing something about science. So that's why I really want to kind of expand the Era Project's educational opportunities and trying to expand knowledge in that. When it comes to looking for life, I think if we realize we're not actually alone in this universe, because some of the life forms, there's a theory that they're actually coming down from space. So they were like ejected from Earth a million years ago after an asteroid hit, and then they're kind of like orbiting around and come back. They found a lot of these life forms have a really weird DNA strands or like shapes, and they don't make any sense. If we were able to really definitely say, look, we have life forms do exist other than Earth, I think it'd be a big unifying factor to realize that, you know what, we're not alone. This is something so much larger, and so that's why the art project is important for me. When it comes to mining asteroids, like I said before, I think that's the only way we're going to get into space is to kind of give an incentive to go there. I mean, every single NASA mission you ever do, you make negative money. You make no, other than science, no impact. You don't make any money off of that. And sadly, humans like making money. That's a thing. I mean, everyone likes making money. So I mean, it's a thing, and it's not that bad. But so I think, well, why not try to put that in space? Why not try and make money off of space instead of just blowing billions of dollars on stuff that's really cool, but doesn't really give any actual value back financially? And so that is why that's kind of what I want to develop and what I want to talk about. And so if I ever do like a TedxTeen thing, I would definitely kind of bring that up, because that's my main philosophy and moral. That's where I build all my morals and ideas off of. So, yeah.
Are you prepared and ready to take that message to a stage? Are you ready to like?
I love talking.
Are you gonna like? Do you feel intimidated? Talking from like, you can clearly express that to people?
Yep, I think so. I would have to prep for it. I mean, I can't wing it.
Yeah.
But I love to talk in front of people, and I really want to get it out. I mean, I really want to kind of, it's been an interesting struggle actually. I always try and like tie it back to like English papers, right? And for the first time, I had to write an English paper in my English class, and I finally felt like I actually got what I really wanted to say out in that. And so I would be more than happy. I think that I really want. That's one of my main missions, to get that message out into people. At least like hear it. So,
dude, I'm gonna do everything I can to make that happen for you.
Thank you so much.
No, this is whether TedxTeen, Weird Family, 3.dash, whether it happens or not. I mean, you've got to promise yourself you're gonna get that message out there.
That's where I'm.
And I'll do what I can to support you. I mean, I'm very
Well, thank you.
Very impressed.
That's really awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
I'll go back to concessions and sell some stupid popcorn.
Actually, I have to go over. I don't know. Actually, I came here to see if I'm working today. I never got a schedule, so I don't know why. Like I'm.
It's probably orbiting around the Earth.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know. I forgot it. And love it. All right. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.